I've known Jane a very, very long time. She's my dearest friend, and I have known Lily a long time, not Rita. But the first time we were all together was a makeup and hair test where we were just sort of all lined up, and it was the first time all of us on a couch. And they honestly had a hard time getting us to look forward. We were so busy hearing everybody's stories. Well, no, you're kidding me, he just said that. What details have you ever written about that? Have you ever just anyway? Hello, ladies, this way, please. We need to see the lighting. We need to see why we're here. So we realized that part of the problem that this production was going to have would be making us shut up long enough to film it. And that was the truth. I have avoided some other films that are like groups of ladies because I have certain feelings that women are about so much more than just, looking for a date or, who's my next husband, or even trying to fix it with your husband and sharing that with your girlfriends. I just have the feeling that women are about a lot. And this, to me, struck me because it was what I'd been saying, let it be that women are showing a different side of themselves. And Jane said, I've got this, and we look at it, and da-da-da. And so I wanted in my lifetime to be able to be with my friend Jane in a movie, and so I was there.
There's Tom. Oh, what a beautiful man.
I like Gronkowski.
We know, Trish, we've all read your Gronk erotica.
It's not erotica, it's fan fiction. Very sexy fan fiction.
How much time do I have to be able to pay homage to my friend Jane, who is one of a kind? I think she really changed what was available for women, certainly in my lifetime. Besides other things and really pushing the envelope, walking point, as they say in activism. But she was the first one that taught me that you can be fit and not starve yourself to death.
Jumping jacks. 2s, 3s.
You can work out. Isn't that a novel idea? When I started in television in 1964, and I was then doing my second series after that, somewhere in 1967 or 8 or something, and I was so depressed I gained like 50 pounds in 2 hours or something, and I had no information about eating or health or what was I to do. And when the press started commenting about how round my face was, you've seen the rest of me. The only thing I knew to do was starve yourself to death, and eat nothing but cucumbers for 4 days in a row. And then Jane brought in the workout. Not long after that, I wish it had been sooner. I think it wasn't until the 70s that she finally brought it in. And I think my whole generation of women were awakened to, really? You can actually go somewhere and get fit, you can sweat and stretch and all of these things. It was not taught to us at all. But there's all sorts of things that you can learn to do and keep in your life forever. And to me, Jane was the first one that brought that information to me. That's like one thing. But like I said, how much time have you got?
Let's go!
Oh my God, that's
Tom Brady! He just was Tom Brady. He was a completely lovely human. He said, I'm so nervous, and feeling like he didn't know where to put his feet or something, but he was completely natural, and all of the ball players were, all of them were, that we had 4 of them, 4 great ones, and they were also, but they were so good. Sports is a performance art, let's face it. They know how to handle that kind of adrenaline. It's the same kind of adrenaline that actors feel, except most actors aren't worried that your legs will be ripped out from under you or your limbs will be ripped off. But then again, maybe there are those actors that are worried about that. I don't know.
Whose is this? It's all sweaty, but it's lovely.
I was a football fan when my sons were really young, and I would watch the games with them. And then they all grew up. That was the weird thing. They grew up and they left and they had their own families, and then all of a sudden the football games weren't on all the time. and the Laker games were on and off, and but I think being in shutdown that length of time, and I watched as basketball went into that bubble, which was amazing, and I fell in love all by myself now. It wasn't motivated to, the Suns being there and me constantly saying, does anybody want anything to eat? Dinner's almost ready. I said, it was just me, and I completely was possessed and watched the Lakers win that season. And then my son said, but it's over. I said, what'll I do? And he said, my oldest son said, have you ever watched baseball? And I kind of had as a kid, because my real father was into it, but I didn't know what feelings I had that were like around that. And I slowly started to watch. I have turned into an absolute, really crazy Dodger fan, a crazy, crazy baseball fan, which happened basically during the whole pandemic. And I think in the last 2 years, I don't think I've missed watching a single game. And they play like 2,000 games a year. So yeah, I'm a really avid Dodger fan. If one of the players came in right now, even one of the players that doesn't play very often, I would know who it was. I would literally fall to shreds.